Foolish.
Nobody talks. Nobody talks. Nobody talks shidduchim.
This is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast.
Here we are, episode 65, Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. It's IJ. I'm here. Avery. Avery's here.
You're with me.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't. You have to correct you. I'm here with Avery.
I'm here. 1 second.
Not
Let me
here,
practice
period?
this. I'm here, comma.
There
1
you
second. I'm here with Avery. Period. I sound like Biden now. Like, reading the punctuation. JK LOL.
SOB.
Avery and I would love to welcome back our two like assistant co-hosts. You have a bumping title now. Okay, Rosie is back. Rosie.
I would like to not be an assistant co-host. I would just like to be a co-host.
Okay, co-host. Okay, you're
Thank you.
co-host.
Climbed up a little
Co-host.
bit. I did.
And our other co-host.
And employee of the month, please.
Yeah, Coach Hanna.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. So Coach Hanna and Rosie are here. Yay! And this episode is titled "Why Your Seminary Experience Has Ruined Your Dating Life."
Or not.
Actually, wait, this one. It's ruined your shidduch life. Trust me. No, I'm kidding. It's a cute, catchy title. What we're really trying to do is discuss seminary, what your pics say about you, what it has done for you, and a lot of other things on the topic list. So we're going to get right to it right after our sponsors and how we get paid. Okay, 65. We are here. Coach Hanna. We are here. Rosie, and that's about everyone who's important. Just JK. No. Avery and I are working it out.
Don't worry, your mother is not on the list here.
Why does she always just get into my life? No, kidding.
Yeah.
Why your seminary experience has ruined your life. So
Ruined your life. So it didn't make it better. It only ruined your life.
It's continuously.
Ruined your dating life.
It is always ruining your life. No, we're joined here today with two gals, two women who know what they know how to date. I wrote here know what you want in a guy, but I was like, oh wait, that's not correct. But who have been through the system. You've been through the system. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
One's married, one's in the market. So they have you both have a ton to share with on seminaries, right? So what is that seminary experience? But to give the parenthetical conversation, Avery.
Yeah, I don't have much seminary experience.
Why not?
Really?
I
know. It's
Shocking.
You would think.
Very, very shocking.
You would think, having snuck in a couple of times, then
before
got
we
kicked
say
out by various females.
administrators.
Yeah, more than kicked out. I was like one of those types, the border types, where Trump was in office then. After I left, then
That's
Biden was in
wow.
office. Everybody let guys into the seminaries. With me, it was boom, you can't.
You were out
border police
protesting them.
Yeah, but maybe because I thought that there was nothing going on in seminaries, right? And I could just go there and hang out all day, right? Because that's my preconceived notion of what it's seminary. What are girls doing
you probably
the entire year
sit
anyway?
around and wait
I really
for
thought,
boys
yeah.
to come
and
there.
clean.
I
Also,
thought
you
it was
probably
like-
super
What are
clean.
Makes sense why
I thought it was
you
like
would
Princess-
laundry.
Princess Fiona is just
sitting
waiting.
there brushing her hair,
Yes,
putting
and
lip
that
gloss
is-
on,
yeah.
waiting
Rapunzel
for
with the
everyone.
long braid.
That's what I thought.
Makes
yeah.
so much
So
sense.
it's like a
Boys
Disney
are really
movie.
just
For
the
Prince
stupidest people
Charming.
I've ever. Just makes
Well,
no sense.
that's-
Here, you know what? Before we say our part, why don't
Yeah.
really, honestly, say what you think about seminary and say what you
I
think
promise
is
you-
strong or
I feel like women are just having pillow fights.
someone to take your TV away.
Pillow
IJ, what about you?
Hold on, you don't think anyone's being brainwashed there? It's
Okay, that comes later in the year.
okay.
So
in the
first
beginning,
comes
everyone's
First we
everyone's-
get pretty.
everyone's
First come the
happy,
pillow fights,
pillow
yeah.
fights, and then
Yeah.
it just starts to get all serious.
then then they get into roommate drama.
Then they start pumping in
Right.
the chemicals, and that's when we just go.
and then we start eating our feelings.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
right, when
eating.
do we get
The
that?
eating comes Hanukkah. The donuts
Hanukkah.
start. Yeah, Hanukkah time.
When we see the light, we're like,
Yeah, once one of the girls in the year has a boyfriend that looks like they're gonna get married soon. So the girls are like, oh dear, let me just eat those donuts out. Let me eat those feelings out.
So upset.
Then, right then,
And the
later in
Hamantash
the
is for
year-
Purim. The Hamantash is for
the
Purim.
Hamantash are later in the year they
So
they
the whole
start
year's
to
over.
later by
Let him
Pesach
have
time.
this, yeah, let
By
him
Pesach time, the seminary teachers and Rebbetzin start to push this marriage
Cleanse.
concept. Yeah, they start to break this thing, marriage, this concept, this notion of marriage, as a solution to your
Every problem.
negative feelings and your problems.
I love that. Wow.
So the next year,
It's epiphany.
we'll get you all married if you do these things. And here's what you have to do to find a husband,
Follow
which
the
will save you
guidelines.
from your loneliness and your
We only
donut
have 4 months of brainwashing, by the way,
escapades.
because you said Pesach and you get out by like June-ish.
Yeah,
So 4
yeah,
months
4
of
months.
brainwashing. That's it.
4 months.
no, but it's
Pretty
it's.
extensive brainwashing.
Well,
just
no,
for
it's
4 months.
but no, there's a little bit of.
Did I get it right?
A pre-gamed brainwashing because you're
Not only did you get it
creating-
right, you got like the best seminary experience ever. You should
That is-
open your own.
Yeah.
That's it, people.
Get all the girls to come
I
because that's
might.
what we do.
I might.
Episode's over. Thanks for.
I'm writing
that's
the
it. We're going to the end.
application fee check.
Figured it
That was
out.
it.
Great episode, Avery. Amazing job.
Yes.
We hit it again. All right.
Yes, and actually, you can join my seminary next year. It's going to be opening up Neve HaMoney.
But you got to send the application
You need
fee
to write it
Send in
down.
your
Right.
application
We need
coming up.
registration
With a picture,
fees.
please.
Registration, pictures,
Non-refundable.
all the non-refundable fees.
Cash app, please, if you
Yep,
can.
Cash App, Bitcoin,
I was
crypto,
gonna say Bitcoin.
taking
I was
everything,
just gonna say Bitcoin.
NFTs, boom.
Okay, my job is the host. All right, everyone, come back down. Enough of this cacophony. Okay, Coach Hanna, you are Avery. Great job, Coach Hanna. Tell us. Okay, first.
Wait, we didn't get your pick. Your take on it, actually.
I'll tell you at the end.
Okay.
Coach Hanna, tell us about just the seminary process and experience first. So before your opinions,
I
you
mean,
know,
it's
just give us a
been a
little bit
while.
of a
Not that I'm
walkthrough.
gonna date myself here, but it has been a while since I've gone to seminary. But what I always found interesting, that always stuck with me as an interesting point, I felt like everyone in seminary was always trying to have an experience, and that's always what they were searching for, looking for. And I feel like a lot of times you'd see people pose for these pictures, and everyone is like, okay, we're taking pictures of these humongous group pictures, and everyone, and you see the picture and everyone's like so happy and excited, and then as soon as the picture is like over, you're done taking the picture, everyone's like back in whatever drama that's going on in their life, whatever sadness they had, whatever they were dealing with. But in that picture, everyone looks so happy and so full of life, and everyone's having such a good time because it's Israel. So I just felt like it was important to note that it wasn't always about the experience that you felt you had to be having. It was more like you should be finding your own way, finding your own happiness, as opposed to trying to create this happiness that everyone thinks they should be having. That
Can I
like,
date
fake.
you, by the way? Because this is before Instagram fakeness. So this was seminary fakeness.
Yeah, it's before. It's
Yeah,
true.
it
But it
actually
was
was.
there.
But I
It was there
remember,
before.
but I remember looking at people taking pictures, or even myself, and I just thought it funny that like no one ever sees what happens after that picture is taken. Like it's important to just remember that it's not always happy times, good times, and that's normal. And I feel like people forget that when they go to seminary, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of I always have to have a good time. I always have to be having the experience.
Also, because your parents paid like
Right.
$70 billion
Right,
for
but no
this. So
pressure.
it's-
I love it.
Yeah,
Right. And
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the sadness could be like mitigated or taken away just by the idea that like you don't have to always be having a good time. It could be sad, it could be hard, and that's okay.
What is being sold to these girls before they go, though?
Yeah.
In
First of
order
all,
to, I'm trying to understand seminary.
yeah, you should back up like in the
I think-
process
Yeah,
of
before we
how
get
we
there, like, what's-
decided where we're going and like,
Right.
what was in that decision.
Was
making
was there
factor.
even a decision,
I
or
don't
was
think
it
it
like
was
just
sold. It was
yeah.
more like, oh, you should be doing this. This is like this is something that you should.
Do you feel
it's part
like
of your
do you think you
course of
needed to
life.
do it in order to get married, to be looked at as a certain type of person?
I don't
Is
know
that
that I
what the reason
necessarily
is?
felt that pressure. I think it was more almost like a FOMO sense. I think a lot of people have that. Like
Uh-huh.
a lot of my friends are doing it. Like I'm gonna be left behind. I'm gonna stay here, and they're gonna have that experience, quote unquote. I don't want to not have that, and I don't want to lessen my chances of, I don't know, just being out there, that exposure, that experience. I don't want to not have that. I feel like that's what was more for me. What about you, Chevy? Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, you are. Oh my God.
Seminary experience of choosing a seminary was actually different for me. My whole life, I knew I wasn't going to seminary. My parents weren't for seminary. They were like, you should just get married and start your life.
Nice.
Fast track.
And then,
Fast track,
yeah, exactly. Worked out well for me, didn't it? Then when I was in 12th grade, everyone was like applying to seminaries. So I was like, you know what, I'll just apply. My mom actually really wanted me to go. My father was not for it at all. So me and my mom applied. And there is an immense pressure to go to the right seminary. What does the right seminary mean? It means everyone's going to the seminary is A. If you go to this seminary, you are B. If you go to this seminary, you are C. Right. Very, very typecasted. And then it's so much pressure because when you date right after seminary, it's what seminary did she go to? Oh, she went to that seminary.
Defies your life.
Exactly.
Defies your life.
It does define your life for about like, I would say 5 years. A good 5 years after you come
it's
home.
Falsely indicative of who you are, where you're going,
Right.
what kind of
But the
shidduch pics you're
weird,
going to get.
you have to realize
That's
there's
sad.
a very weird thing about seminary.
That's
It's
tough
a
also.
1 year experience, right? So the year that you're in can be different than the next year or the previous year, meaning the type of girls that go.
Your cohort.
Yeah. So
Class.
like for boys, you go to a certain yeshiva and it's technically always the same yeshiva. But by girls,
Guys stay
1
2,
second.
3, 4 years as well.
Exactly. So
That's the
it
difference,
stays
right?
the same here. Like, you went, let's say, to Dar Chavina. What year?
That
Oh,
was a
that
bad
year.
Yeah.
So not only is the
cheetah
seminary
girls went
super
that year.
important, it's actually the year that you went. Yeah, no,
That's a
for
good
real
point.
though.
But it's also there's also that shift. Like if new seminaries open up, then there's a shift in all the seminaries as to like what's the hierarchy. Like, oh, this used to be the best seminary. Now
It's no
not
longer, right?
because X, Y, and Z opened
So
up.
is there really a difference, Hannah, like between the seminary A, B, C, and D? Like how
Yeah, there
different
is
are the pillow
differences.
fights?
No,
I'm
there-
just messing about the pillow
I
fights.
only
But
use
like,
down pillows, so
right, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, and even since I've gone to seminary and Chevy, because Rosie is so much younger than I am.
It's okay. We're almost
years.
ending the show.
It happens to be like you're asking, right, 2 older women. Why didn't you ask like a younger person? It makes so much more of a difference.
we have, but they're still brainwashed. So we have it needed a few years to rub off.
They were like,
you know?
"Hi, I Jay and Avery. I'm sipping my Starbucks." And
Yeah.
in
No,
sheer,
even Starbucks. It's not called
Yeah.
in
Cheryl
sheer,
Starbucks.
not called
Share. It's
non-
share.
It's
Oh, the almond
Share.
milk.
share,
And
share.
it's oat milk.
Oat milk.
Almond milk. So
Okay,
it's,
almond milk. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, just injecting.
It's just pre-bottled water.
And
that's
it's
all I
4
drink.
a.m. and I'm doing chesed and daf yomi at the same time. And
So basically, their response was
Was-
that.
You could speak to this, IJ. Like certain yeshivas, someone tells you they went to OJ, they went to Mir for a little bit.
Brisk.
You'll have a certain idea of who the guy is, right? That of what their
At the time,
background
yeah,
was.
right. At the time,
And the same thing
that's
will-
what you would use, right?
Yeah.
You would use
Right.
like these preconceived notions from whatever the conventional ways in the community was, and you went to base, okay, you must be this kind of guy. Oh,
Yeah,
you
but
went
for
to
boys, you
Nativ.
guys are-
Oh, you're that kind of guy.
But see, for
You know?
guys, you're always like fluctuating and moving places, and it's kind of
We
normal.
are.
And a girl, it was a
the
pivotal
49ers.
moment. And if you made the wrong decision and went to the wrong seminary, you were screwed. Because, like,
Yeah.
you got yourself into this thing that will label you for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
I also will tell you a little bit. I think this is a giveaway. This one. What is it, like the carrot, whatever it's called. But it's not. You really could screw yourself in 2 ways, right? There's one way you were saying that. All right, now you're like regimented going forward. You're pigeonholed. But there's also that like brainwashing aspect in a way where I've went out with girls from more modern Orthodox Modoc schools. They went to Central. They went to JEC. They went, Bruriah, right? They went to some other schools, and like then they went to a very frum right-wing seminary, and the rest of their next, like you said, 5-10 years is just focused on, I got to get that guy, black hat, white shirt, whatever it is, and it's tough for them. It's a challenge because there's a whole code and scripture to this that a vetting system.
I've seen that too. Yeah, there are girls
know?
like they become outsiders in the
Such
frum world,
outsiders. It's sad.
right? Then they
Yeah,
look.
but if you're still
they-
sticking
yeah.
to that 10 years later, then that's truly who you are. The problem
Could
is
be.
when you
Oh, yeah.
change, you make that drastic change for 1 year or 2 years because you went to Shana or Bet, whatever you call.
Shana
Depends on
Bet.
which, no, it depends on which seminary you go to.
That right there. yeah,
Then,
that's-
and then you come
says a
home and
lot.
you're like, this what I want, or is what I want as I grow up, and that is a huge problem for people.
That's why I think that everybody, when they come back from seminary, they kind of need to like defrost a little bit. I
No.
always say,
See,
because-
the when you go to seminary,
Defrost.
this is
Ooh, I
this is
love
the
it.
thought process when you go to seminary. I
me
am
more.
landing, and the second my feet are touching the ground, I am getting engaged because I went to the
Yeah.
right seminary.
That's
and
what
have
I
a
did.
good
That's what I was like,
name.
oh,
That was literally my thought process.
Right, like you should probably like have your resume ready
I was
on
like,
the plane.
Yeah, I was
and
like,
then-
Ma, I got this. Like, let's
Right.
start dating. And she's like, not happening, darling.
Right, exactly. But that's why a lot of people that I coach in general, like I always say, like it's important to take the time to like figure out where what you're looking for, what you want, get that experience, and because people just come off straight off the boat from seminary and they
With the life jacket.
Right.
the life jacket and
They
they need
just think marriage.
yeah.
All
Don't
they
get me
think.
wrong. There's something beautiful about that little bubbly
that
cloud
bubble.
you're in.
But you
and
need
if
to
you find,
integrate. You need to integrate a little
yeah,
bit.
but if you find someone and like in the boy version of you, and you guys are in that bubble together, it's kind of fine because you'll come out of that cloud together.
But what if you go in different paths?
Okay, then
out of
you
that
have a
bubble?
problem. Go call Couch Hannah. But like in general,
Couch
the
Hannah?
very it was weird.
Where can I sign up? Where can I sign up here?
In general, the people that get married very young, right, and straight after seminary and yeshiva, it's a vibe for them. It works, but
They have a certain ideal.
right, the second you do start decompressing from that
Mm-hmm.
bubble, and it is truly a bubble, by the way. Like you go through something
Well,
and
do
you
you
don't
think-
realize you're there. Yeah.
Rosie, do you think this bubble, this concept just came to me now, it hit me. Do you think this bubble comes because they're surrounded by people who live in like a, this is going to be a little bit controversial, but a make-believe land, like a fairy tale world? Seminary teachers and Rebbeim live in Israel, right? They live a beautiful life. They don't have jobs necessarily like we do. They don't have
Yeah, I hear what you're
career
saying.
and like tuition issues like we do.
They have tuition
So,
issues. They have jobs.
Not
They
like
have
we're
all
stuck-
of
different,
that.
They're
very
stuck-
different.
they're
These are people who've been in Israel
They're stuck
for
in
20 years.
in 1980. They're
Many
stuck
of
in
these people are
1980.
right. Many of these people
Yeah.
have never left.
I hear what
They
you're
just
saying.
stay.
I hear what
They're
you're
the
saying.
people who just continue. They're American Israelis who stay in Israel, who don't leave, who become like the Madricha for 20 years and end
Yeah.
up running the seminaries and end up running the yeshivas.
They're antiquated already. That's what I think. Right.
Yeah.
When I went, I went, and I'll give you an example. I went to OJ for Shana Bays, and then I went to TJ for Shana Bit. Actually, it probably should have been the other way. Anyway, I went and at OJ, yeah, they got like a lot of the older Rebbeim retired. Retired. Basically, No, I'm kidding. They and they went to some other yeshiva. They opened up a cool, better yeshiva that now is very popular. And we got these like young guys, and I was like, "Oh, it's so cool to have a young Rebbe." No way. The worst thing. These young rabbis know nothing. Know nothing.
So there is something to
You,
that.
you need
Yeah.
you need real life experience. Now I'm thinking of those Rebbeim in the seminary and yeshiva. Like, it's a really different world. Like, with social media and the way we judge people.
Right,
and
so that's what I was
the
gonna
way
say.
we moved on. Like,
We're also
I don't
a
meet
different
anyone who's
generation,
just so quick
though.
with it. Except I will tell you, like Rabbi Ari Ben Shushan. So with it, he knows it. This guy's the guy. This is Mashiach right here. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, but when
myself down.
you were in yeshiva and I was in seminary, it's a different generation. Like we're not that old
Yeah,
people, but we're
yeah.
old. So
It's so
the
crazy.
bubble
Right.
was much more bubbly.
Yeah.
You didn't have smartphone. One girl had a BlackBerry. Used to borrow it on the
I
side and
know-
email
yeah.
me. Like it was crazy.
An email,
Nobody had
yeah.
these
So you're
things.
saying the
So-
gap
Yeah.
between teacher and student wasn't as big?
yeah, it was
It
fine.
was
we were
not
all
as big.
just like
yeah, exactly.
vibing,
It,
you know?
it was a lot.
no
more
technology
contrite.
for everybody. It was
a lot more
fine.
contrite.
I think
Now
it's still an ideal though. Like I feel like when you
Not
go to
really.
seminary,
Yeah, but when
there's,
you're
like,
12 and you have a TikTok account and then you go to seminary for like you're missing
Yeah, but
that.
they're
that
not
your bubble
going-
doesn't.
You're just going to TikTok with you're paying. Here's a great deal. Avery's yeshiva is going to be every seminary is going to be
Obviously.
Avery Seminary Incorporated.
Yep.
American Friends of Avery's.
they're gonna have a TikTok
And
handle.
yeah, it's just come and TikTok for the year. We're going to learn about TikTok.
be everyone's manager.
We will
That's how you're
teach-
gonna make the
You
money.
learn how to
You're gonna
market.
be
Make a lot of money.
famous on TikTok.
Yeah, we're gonna do
and-
TikTok classes.
We'll talk contracts
We'll
later.
do real. We'll do real seminary. How to really deal with guys. Just
how to market yourself
You know them.
properly.
how to market yourself. Yeah.
But it's total.
Exactly.
It's
What guys really want.
it's
Seminary is not going to be. People are going to want to shut it down. But yeah, what were you saying?
Well, I want to go
Yeah.
back to what Hannah said. I really love what you said there. It's the FOMO. It's the fear of missing out
Mhm.
that really, like, what was that
Propels
word
people.
I used? Yeah.
Pushes people
That
to
pushes people to and like just makes them want to sign up and do it. I mean, that's what it was for me.
But it
I
really
didn't even
depends
think
on
about
your
it.
circles. Like, if you are going to be the only one staying behind and you're not ready to date yet, what are you supposed to do?
Oh yeah, I know. There's really like you were also, you just said typecasted, right? That's what you were. You were another stereotype right after that because you were one of the guys who didn't go to
Right.
to
So
seminary.
what's your problem?
Wah, wah,
You have
wah.
issues.
That
Right,
guy,
but-
that guy, you know what? He graduated college quickly. He was working. Now he's like a vice president of a bank.
He essentially
He's-
integrated back into society
Yeah,
faster.
very
but-
quickly. Yeah,
Yeah, but
very
those
quickly.
5
And he
years,
knew, and
like I
give him
said,
credit.
those 5 years are crucial. You're like,
Yes.
Yeah, but within those 5 years, like think about how much you learned about yourself. Those 5 years, like it's okay to just take a pause. Like these
Hindsight's
seminaries,
20/20. Like,
obviously.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well, obviously, but these seminaries, from my experience and from what I've seen, based off the girls I've dated, is that they push this agenda, the marriage agenda, within the first couple of years, along with the parents, and it's this product, and it creates this downward cycle of people who are just, not really fully
Ready?
in touch with themselves, or ready,
yeah.
or aware of.
And it
who
works.
they
By the way,
are.
it works for some, Avery. It does work for some.
for a
and-
lot.
Well, works means
Totally
they're married.
true.
Work
No.
work means they're married. Like, okay, that's if that's the end goal.
Even though some do it
That's the end goal.
impetuously, it does work, and we're okay. We're okay
I
with
disagree
that.
that it
Just have to
works.
state
I
the
don't think-
disclosure for the general counsel. John.
What I'm curious is, and I ask you guys because guys seem to run seminaries and it's not girls. This is a very
That's
interesting
true,
topic
yeah.
that we should discuss also.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, Seminaries, Shiva, what do you guys think would be a better way to do it then? Like, I'm curious.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just good question.
I
Do
don't
not
think-
push marriage in yeshiva.
No, I don't think.
There's
Of course they do. The
there's
Gemara
no-
says be married by 18. I
So
don't
then
think.
how is seminary different than yeshiva?
I don't think seminary is
No.
right for everybody. I don't think a year after
It's
high school
How
is
is it different?
necessarily-
It's a good Shiloh.
You know how it's different? I think that in the yeshivas, they
Yeah.
should be teaching more about like how to date, things that
They never taught
that
it.
they
I've
never ever.
I'm sorry.
talk
Did you
about
learn
it.
how to date
I
when you were
promise
in
you,
high school?
they
or
never
seminary?
taught you how
They
to.
always
speak
talk
to
about
women.
more to the women like
God,
this is what
no.
you need to do for your husband.
Yeah.
Right,
They
that is a
teach that, yeah.
conversation.
It's
They do teach
never
that.
been
It's
Tell us
not
more.
about a dating
Never been taught.
conversation.
Tell us more about that.
The only conversation.
I don't know where you went.
Well, I feel like the only conversations that boys
And we went to the
have
same places, by the way.
for different times.
Well, that's good. See, it's a different
Yeah.
experience for everybody.
What's the only conversation?
The only
that guys
conversation
have had?
I feel like that these bachrim or boys have
Bachrim,
is
please.
are like these kala classes that they get, and it's like this like crash course of like, okay, here's what you should do, and it's also a lot after the fact. Like they've already dated, they're engaged, they're getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Like so many boys don't hear some basics. Like it's not always just you need to open the door, you need to be chivalrous. Like it's not always just that. It's a lot
It's
more.
not just that. Yeah.
Everything I've learned about women has come from Dr. Jordan Peterson. So it has not come
Yes,
from,
yes. Professor, doctor.
Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson. You see the difference there? Like, what is he? And then
love
there are
it. I
two.
love it.
There's a different.
Well, I think.
dynamic.
Well, you know what? I
Yeah.
think. Well, Avery, that's very. Avery,
They
I think you're right on target.
juxtaposition.
I think you're right on target. Because I get that. Like, I think a complaint that I would totally endorse from the female side is that like they, guys are in yeshiva in Israel, and they go home for Shabbos, and the rabbi just like comes into the house, throws his jacket on the floor, sits down at the table. Which get me a beer and challah, like, and they're just looking at this and like, oh, this is how life has to be, and a lot of these young people, including the people who I went with at the time, look where you're growing up. Look what was going on. Some people, a lot of these kids come from broken homes. A lot of these kids might come from a very happy home, but could be very easily influenced. And they're seeing this and they're saying, oh, hey, that looks pretty good. I got a good deal. She's cooking, she's cleaning. I could go out and chill with the boys all day. Yeah, all right, whatever. They're 19. I'll be, 55. It's all good. Avery, is that the dream?
Not for me. I mean, look. At the end of the day, you want someone that you can contend with. Even me.
Okay,
You
so
want
Hannah had something.
someone who's smart enough to contend with you. But no.
No.
Look.
don't know where
Isaac,
they went with that.
seminaries.
Rosie?
No idea.
My question
I know,
is,
I know,
I don't
I
know
know.
what I'm saying. My question is like seminaries. Is the year a waste nowadays? Like, does it actually?
That's a good question.
Is there a
You
benefit?
can't answer
in
that
going?
Is it a
question.
real
That's such a.
waste?
I think it's
Broad
really
question.
important to know what you're going for.
Is yeshiva a
in
waste
the
of
first
time?
place.
It depends. Depends.
I'd
on
love
him.
to sit.
For some
and-
people,
and-
it could
and-
be.
I'd love
Okay.
to like sit.
For
and
some
bash
people,
it.
yes.
I think
But
also, I think
everyone's
people,
journey,
people don't also necessarily realize what they gain out of it. Like, oh, I'm going to be more independent. I'm going to learn how to.
Yeah, there's a
it
whole other
happens-
side to it.
It happens like circumstantially, but it's also part of the whole experience. Like, I learned how to do things on my own that I would never have done before. Yes,
Yeah,
Rosie.
because
Tell us more,
you
Rosie.
guys leave your house much earlier than girls, right? We stay.
Do
We
we?
stay.
I
We
don't
stay. Yeah, when you guys go
I'm
to
out of
yeshiva
the
like
hou-
13,
I'm out of the house like 9 a.m. in the morning.
and
Yeah.
we don't leave. So seminary is really the first time that we're on our own, trying to
Mm-hmm.
figure out, navigate relationships with people, navigate how to do laundry or start cleaning or take
yeah.
care of yourself. So
Oh,
you do
you know,
so much
MS.
like
more.
a precursor
Yeah, I
for
did
how
that at
you're
work.
going to be
I
when it's
did that
married.
at camp. I did that
Exactly.
at camp. I
Right.
did that at camp. Yeah,
What'd you do?
I
Put
got
the laundry in the
You
laundry
gave the
basket?
laundry
Yeah,
to your
laundry.
Yeah.
counselor.
No,
Camp.
I was
And the
a
counselor said,
I
"Take
was,
a
I was
shower?"
Avery's
Well,
counselor.
camp. What?
No, we would do. Remember, we were in camp.
Yeah.
Like Rosie saying that.
Yeah.
Like
You're
you
learn
gives
to
you
do
this,
stuff.
You're literally
first
in a
world,
foreign
yeah.
country. Some people
Yeah, I
aren't
learned that in
budgets.
camp.
You have to figure out how are
Yeah.
you going to budget yourself. You have to figure out is this worth it for
Right.
me? You have to
Who
figure
helps
out
you with that?
all
Right.
these things. It's a huge learning.
Isaac's parents give me a very big budget.
That's
so.
nice of them.
I don't know about you.
Oh,
No,
yes.
but
Like a Harry
Me too.
Potter situation.
yeah.
It's a babysitting here, you know. Yes, yeah. And his give me a great.
No,
lavish
you're right.
budget as
Girls
well.
probably do find some independence in the year.
Fun.
Yeah.
I remember the year I came
Uh-huh.
home. Like, not that anybody questions me, but like, they're like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "What do you mean? Where am I going? I just spent a year alone. What are you telling
Yeah.
me? Where am I going?"
Oh,
It's such
yeah,
a hard
yeah.
Yeah.
I
thing
have
to come
friends-
home and
Ooh,
them
that's
ask you,
that's
like,
tricky to adapt to.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have friends also that like went to seminary having not being allowed in the kitchen or not even being able to do this or that because they're just it's not whatever, that's not what my parents wanted me to do, and then they go and they become so independent, and it's also hard to come back when like you were
Right.
saying, Rosie, like it's hard to come back
Yeah.
and to like lose that independence,
Right.
to lose that. So it's a lot to deal with, but I think there's a lot to gain aside from just the stereotypical what I learned from seminary.
Did they brainwash me? You're saying?
Yeah.
Is you learn about yourself. You learn how to
Right.
adapt to different situations. You learn how
Well,
to
Yeah.
talk to people,
Many people generally
or
in
not.
life.
By the way, or not.
Many people end up like parroting their parents. So their parents either don't allow them to do things, they don't allow them to cook, clean, do laundry. They stifle their growth. So seminary potentially could be good for those type of people. Let's say.
Right.
Then other people, right, want to become firmer than their parents, or the opposite, right? They're a lot less firm than their parents, yet their parents had an influence in how they acted. And when they go to seminary, potentially they sort of figure out, okay, this is really my face without any sort of influence,
Outside.
parental outside influence. You can really get that
But that's also for
Feeling
the
of who
same
you
thing
are.
for yeshiva in Israel, right?
true,
Not limited
but
to seminary.
well, it really depends on the person specific. Like
So same
yeshiva
with
and
that.
seminary is it's a cocoon in of itself as well. Like you're still limited by that environment. So
Okay, but you just keep on singling out seminary and not yeshiva. It's the same kind of.
Yeah, but the episodes is
Yeah.
like how seminary
Yeah.
has ruined your
I
life.
think seminary pushes, but
noted.
the
noted.
difference between
Yeah.
yeshiva and seminary is yeshiva's only agenda is to bring you back, is to continue to bring you back year after year after year,
Right.
so
I
that
hear
you continue
Ooh,
to
oh,
learn and learn and
oh,
learn
interesting,
without
interesting.
anything.
So
And-
then
and-
you're
and-
teaching us in seminary to respect the boys that go to the yeshiva who says learn
Yeah.
and learn and learn and come back. So
In
you want us to
seminary-
be taught something else, but you're taught the other way. They're trying to make us,
I'm not saying that. I'm
we
just
have a
I think you're
relationship
saying-
with
you're
each
saying
other.
there's different like trajectory for boys.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
like
different trajectory.
you need to be coming back constantly. So we're not teaching you how to live life out there in the world or what you need to do on your own. We're teaching you how to return and come back and continue.
And then in
learn.
seminary, the ones who
you go out there.
brainwash you, no, the ones who brainwash you are teaching you that that is the way you should be living your life. Here are the skills we're going to teach you to respect and love people
also
who learn all
girls
day.
are too smart to just continue to come back year after year. They'll catch on to it.
It's also too expensive.
That's also true. And girls won't pay. They're just a
Yeah,
little
most-
bit ahead of.
most
Also, I think
Something
girls
about
get it a
that.
lot
Yeah.
faster. They can do everything in 1 year. Figure it out.
We also get fatter faster, so we got to go home.
That's it.
That
It's
is
both of-
true.
It's both of those. It's both of those.
Yeah, but no, but it is different. That is one of the differences between girls and guys, and I think
Just one.
one of there's girls and guys in yeshiva and seminary. I think for sure, but they do push this. I don't know what it's like. You've been there, right? So, is there some sort of narrative being pushed that's saying like, okay,
There's
next
a
year you're going to
narrative
start
in anywhere
getting
that you
married?
go, and if you accept that narrative, then it's on you, and if you don't, then it's on you as well.
Uh-huh.
I think there is a pressure there though. Like there's a pressure to find a mentor. There's a pressure which I feel
Didn't
like
have that, yeah.
Tell me
It's
more.
good that you're very independent.
I want to hear
Rosie.
more about that. Tell me
I
about
think
these pressures
I-
that
I-
you see these young girls like going through.
When I was in seminary, I just remember specifically just this one girl who said, I don't have any problems. I just wanted to go talk to this teacher because I just wanted to get a connection. I just wanted to form a connection. And I get that and I understand that. I just feel like there are a lot of pressures that are put out there because that's part of the experience that you must have in seminary. And if you're not having that experience, you're not doing it right. And I feel like it should be more presented as this is your year of growth. Find your way, find what works for you, figure it out, figure out what makes.
Let's call it a year of independence and a year of growth.
Okay, a year of independence because growth.
We hate that
Midsection
term.
wise,
we
no
hate
one-
that term.
No, 'cause the
It's-
growth automatically
it's so
is putting
trite,
pressure
that
on you.
term, like it's gonna
Yeah.
be a growth. I just started getting back into the Bachelor. I mean NFL football and an NFL football. As you know, they have this like Midwestern guy on the football team, and then they have all these other female football team. Okay, it's the
Contestants.
Bachelor. Okay,
Contestants.
And they're always using like.
Sometimes you go
contestants.
places and I have no idea
And
where
then I
you're
bring
coming.
you
I was
back.
like, oh,
And then I bring you back.
I'm like Aaron Rodgers. Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the Bachelor. Anyway,
I thought you were talking about
Aaron
cheerleading.
Rodgers' brother was on The Bachelor.
It wasn't me. It was my friend. Okay, it wasn't really
Yeah.
my friend. It was me. And anyway, they turned it
but-
on at the lounge the other night, the bar. And anyway, yeah, they were just, it was just redundant. Like this process, the growth, the journey. I'm like, I'm in a. This is what girls are doing in the seminary, and I'm like, we have to have an episode right now.
No, so before I
it.
left, right, I told you before that my father was very not into seminary. Literally, he was driving to the airport and he turned to me. He's like, "This is a year of vacation. Enjoy it.
I
There's
love
no
that.
pressure. Have
That's the
fun."
best way to sense that.
But when you come home, real life starts. And I was like, done.
Okay,
Oh, and
that's
then
a
I had
little
two.
scary.
And then I had
That's a
two
little
rules: no
scary.
Egypt, and no Jordan. That was it.
Yeah, because they would have snagged you.
Yeah.
Isn't that
box. They would
fearful?
have put you in a box.
Isn't that fearful for girls? Like it's, I see why guys are just a bit more like relaxed and nothing goes on with guys after yeshiva because there is no expectation. Yet you face these expectations once the year in seminary is over, and yeah, it is real life, and you're like, wow, it's a lot of pressure. I can understand why.
And why is that?
he
I
gave
me
I
the
feel
year off.
empathetic
So I
towards
think that
girls.
was like an amazing feeling before I left. I was like,
That
I could
is
do whatever
awesome.
I want.
Yeah.
A year,
That is
every year
awesome.
should be a year to do what you want.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're living in La La Land. You're gonna
They
be Peter Pan.
asked-
I mean, I
um,
am, but it's just like every year should feel like you're doing like what it is that you like to do. I don't know
They talked to. By the way, they
if that takes it's a year off in Israel and Italy or something, and you want to just live. Like what's wrong with that?
They talked about that with Mark Cuban. They said like if you had to credit like one thing to your success because he's a very successful guy, owns the Cuban group of companies. He's got like 100 companies. This guy, Dallas Cowboys. He owns the Dallas Mavericks.
Mavericks,
like,
yeah, I was
no,
gonna
no,
say
no,
it.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones. Okay, the Dallas Mavericks. Sorry, Jerry's gonna get me. And they asked him like, "What would you say is the key to your success?" And he said, "When I turned 21." And he sold actually the radio.com. That was his first thing. And he bought a house and they in 9 years just partied for 9 years. So I would like to, relate that to the theme your father kind of put into your head. And he didn't want to preclude you from having any normal experience, which is just to not have those expectations. Which set up pressure, like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. So much to knock off. No, just go in and just be chilled about it. Don't set any expectation up for the year. It's tough. Parents listening, Rebbetzin listening, whatever. Try to make it as enjoyable and chilled as possible so you can get the best out of it. I like that.
I agree. I like that.
What do you think, though, Hannah, from coaching these people? What do you think
Who's
is
these people?
these her clients, these young girls coming back from seminary,
Seminary.
who are like ready to go on a date with Avery,
Yeah, with me.
ready to go on a date with Avery. They just went on a date with IJ, didn't work out.
So they went
They work with Rosie.
Passing them around.
Do they push like professions onto people like, that you need to go to college or not or like something like that?
I think girls feel that pressure also. I don't know that they do that in
Oh,
seminary.
pressure.
I think that
College?
it's more like an underserved thing. Like if I want to be something, if I want to support my husband, I better get a degree. Or even if I don't want to support my husband, if I, it's just the next stage of my life. I go to seminary and then I have to figure out what I want to do next. And I have to figure out what I want to be or what I want to become. It's just the next part of the process, I feel like.
I see right there. I think you just hit it. I think you just hit it right there, because there is a demand for these young girls going, and it's everything's already set up. Like, hey, you're going to go for the year, and college, master's, university, master's degree, whatever program, everything's like set up.
PTOT speech.
We just this didn't happen. What? ETOT?
PTOT speech.
She's saying the
PTOT.
jobs that they can get.
PTOTST. Right. So I think we're out of that time.
I think
We're
I
out of
just
that
dated
time.
myself again now.
There used to be a very good formula here. I'm thinking of my older cousins. That's it. No uncles, aunts. Just the older cousins that did that. They became OTs, STs, PTs, and they did this. Like, they're so into going to seminaries and these places, I can't name them. It worked for them back then. It worked. That schedule worked. Like, now, going to seminary, it might help you because you go to Yeshiva University, you go to Landers, and then you can get into one of those programs. Today, you got marketing person, social media.
Right,
A
there's so
lot of
many
girls
new
want to be more
positions.
professionals. They want to be the quote unquote professionals. I hate the term. I hate that argot, but it is what it is. Like, you're talking about professions. You could be an accountant. You got to be a lawyer. You have to be
Titles.
a doctor. Titles, right? What else? What else is there?
Our standards
You have
of
to be
living
a
also got
software
much
engineer.
bigger.
That's a cool job though. But so there's that. It's not like our parents or our older siblings did, where you go to Israel and then you kind of just figure things out. And here are the few. People are overwhelmed with the options. People are just overwhelmed with it.
Well, as a society, we want everything bigger and better. So even our standards of living is just bigger. So you need to be more professional. You need to be making more money so you could be buying more things. So everything about the way we live is different.
I also think there's just more options in general. Like, it's not just doctor, lawyer, emergent chief. What was that?
Right.
That song when
A
you
tinkler, a tailor, a
yeah.
soldier, a sailor.
Yeah.
A rich man, a
Girls
poor
know
man, a
what I'm
beggar,
talking
man, a thief, a
that-
doctor, a lawyer, a merchant, a chief.
Yeah, that
Nope, don't know.
Was that
You're
from
welcome.
that show with Tevi? Was that Tevi? Tevi, the Broadway show. Fiddler on the Roof.
Tevya?
Tevya?
Tevya.
Tevya.
He's
Wasn't
on a
it
first name basis with him. He calls me Debbie.
That's something else, yeah.
I don't know.
No,
No, but I just feel like it's not. There's less of a box now. Like, there's more options out there, which is a good thing, and it can also be an overwhelming thing for girls. I feel like that there's a lot more, because there are a lot more options.
Right.
There's a lot more opportunity for stress and for
Yeah.
getting overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
what do I do? And how do I get this done? But at the same time, it's also nice because it means that they can feel like I can still start my family. And still have the job that I want. I can juggle better, because
Yeah.
it used to be like, if you wanted to be a doctor or lawyer, you weren't
Have a cake, I needed to.
right.
well, women used to not have jobs. I mean, look at the
Right.
early
That was
1900s.
like the 50s.
The
How
difference
dare you,
between-
Avery? Women are
Forget
people
early
that-
1900s. What about your mothers have jobs?
Our great grandparents didn't have.
Actually, yeah.
Grandmothers
Yeah,
didn't have
both of them.
jobs.
Actually, my parents
no,
were-
my
My mom
grandmother,
worked.
my
My mother doesn't have a
grandmother,
job. Her
My-
job was
my
raising
mom-
the family.
no, my
Yeah,
grandmother
right.
had a job. So my
Yeah.
grandfather owned a leather shop, and she worked with him together in the shop, like day and night.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's-
they-
yeah.
yeah.
It was a
My
weird. It was a
grandfather had a
weird
store.
gap. It was a weird gap
Yeah.
because I had the same thing. Like, my grandmother worked in the store with my grandfather. He ran
They
the shop,
hustled.
and she did the books, and she like ran. We spoke about this at some point. It was a cute story.
Yeah.
I think you're saying right. There's paucity out there. Like, there used to not be options. Now there is. I want to get into this next topic here. I think what you were saying is that there's like things could be quite dangerous and cause a plight when your choices during that 1 year determine the next 5 or 6, 7 years, and that's what these girls are thinking of. Can you tell us, Hannah, like, what's going on in that sense? Once the girls get back from seminary, now they're in shidduchim. Those choices they made in that 1 year is now, basically telling us things, right?
I think that as the years go by from when you were in seminary, the more years that pass, the more I think girls tend to realize that seminary is not the only thing that defines them anymore. And it's not, I went to this seminary, therefore I have to be this person. They start to realize that you can mix and match. You can pull things that you learn from seminary and have that stick with you and have those lessons stick with you. But you can pick and choose the things that you want to define you, as opposed to, I went to the seminary, I need to incorporate everything that defines the seminary into who I am. So I think it's important to recognize that already when you come home. Realize that you had a year in seminary. That doesn't mean that everything that was taught to you now needs to be right away, integrated into your life, and it has to be exactly modeled after what you saw in seminary. It's important, and the way it lasts, the way it sticks, is if you take what you learn and you learn to see how it works for you, and you incorporate that into your life, as opposed to taking the exact same lesson and trying to make it who you are, because that doesn't stick.
I'll add on to Hannah. Young people are impressionable, very impressionable, especially
You know young
18,
people
19. Yeah, we're impressionable. I used to think that this guy was successful.
Oh, are you pointing
I was
at
18,
me?
19.
Where's the drum?
No, I'm just kidding.
That's all.
And
wow,
got all
wait
the
a second.
and got all the ladies.
Wait a second.
I'm just messing.
Life goals. Goals have just been achieved right here. Okay, if I fooled
I'm
you,
just kidding.
I fooled them all.
Isaac is very successful, and
I
I
am just so
envy
happy.
much of that success.
No, I'm happy.
I can't get-
As long as it looked like I was successful.
Well, there you go.
That's
But
awesome.
but young people are impressionable. I remember I went out with a girl, and this is in my younger and dumber years. But I couldn't hold back. She just came back from seminary, like literally a few months before this date, and I was younger and pretty like brash. So
Very brash.
at a certain point in the date, I knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. I knew I had no interest in her, and
you just did it.
I asked her, I'm like, so what did your seminary? Because all she could talk about was her experience and her teacher. It was making me nauseous, honestly, like physically. And Israel and this. I'm like, what did seminary tell you about guys? Like, what did they say? What do you look for? On dates, what are you supposed to look for? And I'm like, she's like, her eyes got wide.
It's like a malfunction.
Her eyes got very wide, and she looked a little nervous. I'm like, don't worry, I'm comfortable. You can say whatever you want.
You can say
The guy has to open the door, and he has to be nice.
Seminaries do not
And
tell
she
you
winked-
that.
and she
This
winked
is
at
what
you.
she told
No,
me.
they don't.
She said it as
He has to open
stoically
the-
as possible,
He has-
and like
He has to pay.
She's like pointing at Avery.
And I'm like, all
you
right,
paid,
I did.
and you did it.
I did 2 out of 3. You're paying, but and I was like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. I can't date what I felt like was a puppet or like a model. It was.
Did you feel
It
that at
was
the time, though? Did you feel that at the time?
I
was
felt
something
it at
wrong.
the time.
You
I
felt
just
there was
didn't know
something
what
wrong.
yet, and now I know what it is.
We're able to
having had-
pinpoint what
Yeah,
that
I was able to
was.
pinpoint. Somebody who couldn't think for their. It was abominable to
You were
me.
still
I couldn't. Someone who
washing the
couldn't think for
brain,
their own.
right? Washing the brain. You were
Yeah, it was.
washing it off.
Right.
Still on that wash cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
In some ways, it's like
Still
dating
fucking-
someone or like having a conversation with somebody who is like, Jew for Jesus. You ever have a conversation with someone like that?
Oh yeah.
And they're just programmed to tell you this whole
Right.
spiel, this whole thing about
Yeah.
Jesus is going to do this and this that for you. And I'm like, okay,
I've had such an
if Jesus
endeavor.
makes me rich, I'm in.
Yeah.
And it never works. But honestly, it's just talking to program cult people, vax, anti-vax. It's the same thing. Someone who's in a tunnel, in a bubble, in its own way. So that was a rough
Rosie,
game.
how did some of your dates go? I want to hear a little bit more. Like when you came back from seminary, I want to hear about this, challah making, chesed
Apparently, I
going.
went to a different seminary than everybody because I don't think I had any of this
Maybe you
brainwashing
should go to
thing
class.
here.
I feel like you just slept right through.
No,
my
never.
father said I don't have to do anything.
I think
No, I loved seminary. I didn't have any of that. Obviously, anywhere you go for a year of your life where you're separated from your everyday normal routine, you're going to pick things up. You're going to be influenced. And if you're not influenced, then it's a problem within itself. So everybody is taking
that
in
girl.
new
You're
things.
that girl.
Our friend from Nashville.
she did not acquiesce. the
It's
rest
weird.
of-
So you obviously take things in, and obviously as time goes on, you lose certain things that don't mean so much to you. But I don't know what you dated, and I don't know who that is. But like that's
you don't want to know what.
that's not a person. Like
I have the
That's-
resume. I'll show you later.
okay, thanks. Like
Yeah.
we'll knock on her door and talk to her about it. I didn't have any of this. Obviously, I was looking for something different 12 years ago versus today. But I
trying
don't
to say
think I think it's an important
No,
because
it's
the 12
okay.
years
No,
is
it's
it's a big number. But my core beliefs and my core value is the same thing. So you fluctuate, you move as people. You're forever going up or down. You're never staying the same.
You're
So,
evolving.
yeah,
You should be right. That's
You would
it.
hope.
trying to evolve. Sometimes,
Right.
but I don't know. I guess my seminary experience was different.
Well, see, that's your problem right there. That
Okay.
you're normal.
Oh,
That's the problem.
interesting. We had a different
Right?
conversation in the car
You
about
have
me.
to be
but-
like, you know, yeshiva, Beis Yaakov with daddy issue girl. You know, that's that's who makes it in shidduchim.
Right, so
noted,
everything
noted. Okay.
That's who make yeah. So
Rosie's
let's
the
let's
exception.
reset.
We're gonna remarket you now.
We can start again.
Yeah.
No, but even for a lot of my friends, I don't know. We were not brainwashed sheep. I don't know. You guys,
I think
That's
it
what
also.
we
I think
take,
it really
guys.
depends on the seminary. I think that like
it's really the person, I guess.
Tell us about that. Like I say, give me an idea about like so you have like us from people go to this place, us Modocs people go to that place. Tell me, give me some names here.
Within the front
name
place,
drop.
there's
I
like
don't-
You know.
15, 20, and within the Modocs ones,
And
there's 15, 20 as
name
well.
them. Go and name them. Go.
I have no idea what.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a wide
They don't want to
spectrum.
give them.
We have a
Yeah.
wide spectrum of.
I know.
There's so many new ones also.
I know.
I only know the
the
old
new
ones.
ones. Yeah. Oh, that's the best. By the way, when you're on a date with like some girl and right.
You
when,
don't know the new ones?
You know, I remember when this was happening when I like turned 25. You know, it was like turn 25. We all went out for beers. Okay, next day shidduch date, and I'm like, all right, what's look at. I was like, I'm not even gonna look at the resume, and I go out with the girl, and so someone very different shows up. I'm like, oh, well, pull out the resume, and it's like.
Merkaz.
Miss Sifta, I don't know, your seminary. I'm
Yeah.
like, what? Mahon,
Your whole
Mahaya,
brain malfunctions
Hahuna.
because you don't know what questions
I'm
to
like,
ask them.
oh
now.
my God, what do I do? What do I do? And
What do I ask them?
there are, yeah. So we had some ladies on a few podcasts ago, and they were like, what schools did you go to? And they're like, we went to Shmerel's Yeshiva. I'm like, I never heard of it. What is this place? I don't know. I know
there's
of a
some-
few. There's Tiferet. I only know Tiferet because I was a Tiferet
Right.
counselor. There's Maor. There's Darchei Bina. There's Bravenders.
There's Benos Chava.
Panina.
Benos
Panina.
Chava.
Is Panina still around?
There's
Machon
Penina.
Raya.
Machon Raya.
Nachlas, that's a new
Ooh,
one.
no, it's not new.
Oh, that's a new one. Okay.
is it still
Should
open?
I be
but-
looking for those girls?
But that's actually the thing I like about Nachlas. They have like this half year experience that you can do. You can do 6 months as opposed to
No, isn't that late?
Lahab. Sorry, not Nachlas.
Nachlas is
Scratch that.
is very
Lahab.
intense.
6 month experience.
base.
But I like that because that
No.
I feel like it was so different to give girls an opportunity to not have to go for a full year. Like you want the experience and you can fast track it and just do it for 6 months.
I
love
don't
that.
agree with that because I think most girls hated seminary until like the magical lights of Hanukkah, and then you lit the menorah and all of a sudden you loved it. So you spent the first half of your year crying. So you want that second half of actually enjoying your trip.
Yeah, but maybe they
Oh, I
were
love that.
crying because they knew they were going to have to spend the whole year there. Where it's like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm going to have to do for the next 12 months or whatever, 7 months, whatever it is. And then it's like,
The
oh
rest
wait,
of your life.
I don't have to. Hold on, I only have 6 months here. Let me live it up.
No,
Like
I
Shelby's
think
father said, I said it. Rosie's
Once you're
father.
going, just go.
Do you think
Once
many
you're
girls like live in fear while they're in seminary of like they have curfews now and they
They've
can't
always had
run freely,
curfews.
or they just maybe it's just a female thing generally.
We've always
Or
had
like-
curfews.
Yeah.
Can't
What's
walk
the deal with
around
those
late at night.
curfews?
I
What's the
think-
deal?
that.
I honestly think that they fear
It's very
more
expensive.
about
Expensive.
gaining weight and things like that, and
Uh-huh.
what their friends, what their
Material
parents are going to
things.
say. And yeah, I feel like that's like
If
a
you look
huge
good
thing.
when you're going to town, because you go to town once a week, and what if you do see a boy? So that's
Oh,
also
gosh.
very scary. But don't look at them. But look.
look past them,
Yeah.
or look through them, so that you know what
I went
Only
to-
want Torah boys.
I want to tell you, I went to town recently.
Sorry,
and-
when I say town, I didn't mean town.
Oh no, I know. I went to
Geula.
I went to Crack Square. I legit, yeah. So I went recently to Crack Square. I went to Israel recently, like I don't know what, like 2 months ago already, and I was there for a mission and a purpose. Another episode we'll do it. But
Mission Impossible.
No.
You said mission. I was like,
Pretty
what?
much.
Mission,
What
I,
is a mission?
whatever.
007 right
I
there.
went for a
It
girl.
was
Delivering the
you know,
goods?
I went for a girl.
It was Mission
whatever.
Impossible.
Anyway, I did it all. Like, I was quarantined, this and that. Anyway, okay, I'm going around Israel. I'm loving it. I haven't been there in 10 years. And my brother-in-law is like, oh, we have to go to Harvey's. We got to go to Harvey's. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. Brings me in. We were eating. There's like it's like an American Graze, and it's just like everyone's there, all the Americans. Anyway, so we walk out of Harvey's. I'm like, where is it? I don't know. And then we walk out, and like I'm in Crack Square, and I only knew because it's Thursday night. And before you know it, I'm looking, and there's the bass guys, they're the TJ guys, they're the Near Jake guys, the new Yeshiva guys, And like it's happening, and I'm back here, and I'm like,
Same.
oh my god, I was so young, and I'm like, you can't do that, and like there's like drug deals going on, and there are fights, and I'm like, whoa, no, you get it, and like so I can totally relate now to basically the parent side of it. Like you're a child when you go, you're a child.
In our community, in the frum
It's so you're
community,
so
they're
young.
children, but in the secular community, they're going to college at 18 anyway. So
Right.
It's true.
and they're having all their experiences.
Where
so
did
it's
the
similar.
girls go, by the way? So
It's our
we're on
seminar.
the topic of curfew here. So I think curfew is like a good thing, because the girls are probably like, oh, then I gotta go back for curfew. I gotta go shopping. I gotta curfew.
I think curfew is the only thing that will let their parents send them. If the parents knew there was no curfew, there's no way I'm sending my daughter there. Absolutely.
That could be.
Can you imagine that's the newest like Instagram marketing scheme that like these
No
yeshivas
curfew, no
Many girls
problem.
used
no curfew.
Many girls used to tell me.
Virtual curfew.
Many girls
You
used to
can
tell me.
Zoom.
I would ask them out. They'd be like, no, we have curfew. And then later, many years later, I found out that their seminary didn't have curfew.
Every
Like,
seminary.
oh, no.
has curfew.
Every
Every
seminary.
seminary has curfew.
It would happen.
It's
Every
a smart
It would
thing.
happen
It's
in
a
that
smart
way.
thing.
I think it is a smart thing. Because you're not just dealing with it's Israel. There's so many different dangers that are not present here in America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you make a wrong turn and you are in Egypt, and then Rosie's father is going to be very upset.
Right. Is there something that girls are learning, like spiritual things or like anything? Like what are they actually learning though? When you sit down and you're not in a base medrash technically atmosphere all day, right? I'm sure there are classes and certain things, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but
Yeah,
what are they?
it's like an
do?
extension of high school. So whatever you learned in high school, you continue learning.
but
Obviously,
there's
it's
different approach depending
Right.
on what seminary you go to. There are more
No, but you still have your basic. You have Chamesh, you have Parsha, you
right,
have
but
Navi,
the way
you
it's
have-
delivered, I think, depends on the seminary. Like
But it's a
some
structured
seminaries-
class where you go and you have classes and you have
Sounds
teachers.
very
You
Jewish,
have-
this
You
place.
have tests. You have all this. You get
Tests?
graded.
You get graded?
Yeah.
Yes.
What happens if you fail a
Well,
Chumash test?
I'll tell you what. It's actually a problem. I went through. This is a million years ago, but when I went to seminary, I went through like Turo College. So you had to pass
So you
your
had-
classes because I got credited
That's
through
rough.
seminary.
Yeah,
Wow.
right,
So
right,
that
yeah.
was like
they do that.
one of the things I had to do was I just actually passed my classes. So that
But
I could get my
technically, by
credits.
the way, because I will tell you, yes, people, I have been a professor before. It's out there. Okay, it was like a yeshiva program, whatever. Anyway, long story, it's a crazy time. But technically, it's not really true because let's say if you go for a bachelor's of arts, you have 90 liberal arts credits and 60 of them cover it, so you're good. But if you're going for like a bachelor's of science, then you actually only have 30 credits that cover it. And then if you go for a different bachelor's degree, a bachelor's of business, you get 15 credits. So that's tricky, that part, by the way.
All I know is they paid for half of
Anyway.
my tuition, so I know I had to pass those
Yes,
classes
yes,
so that I
yes.
can
Right.
get the funding.
But kits are, yeah. I mean, but that itself is a little like it's a little. There's like
There's
a
ways
little
around
shadiness.
it.
Yeah, a
Right.
little
Okay.
shadiness in there.
So that's what's
Don't tell younger Rosie that because she would have even worked
Yeah,
even
you might.
less
Yeah,
then.
you might want to look at
Trust
your
me, I didn't do anything
transcript.
there.
You might not have actually got that deal. Just letting you know.
Oh, so my non-existent diploma doesn't actually exist?
It's a virtual one.
we could hang it up.
right.
No. So anyway, there's structured classes
Uh-huh.
in the morning and at night usually too.
Right.
Um,
And Sundays, which was hard, I
yeah,
feel like,
there's-
because
But Sunday
in
is
high
a regular
school-
day in Israel, so it's not anything new.
Right.
Girls, you have chesed hours you have to do. So once a week or
Okay.
twice a week you have
Well,
to go
I could
help
see
the
why
family.
I could see why that would be something.
Chesed
you would do.
hours. Oh my god, I
Chesed
forgot about that.
hours, Worst day
Oh
of
my
the week.
gosh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like Thursday, right? You do it Thursday.
Yeah, usually.
And then you like go to some like poor
you phone a
family's
friend
house.
and you ask them to do chesed by them so that you don't have
I
to
wish
go.
I
Oh,
had
right,
the
that's
word.
different,
I
right.
Yeah,
had-
that's
Oh,
the
I'm
way
going
around
to,
it.
my.
Going
Right.
to my sister.
I was so stupid when they called you before.
could've
They're
just
like,
taken me out
"Do
for
you know
coffee."
how to do things?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know to do everything," not realizing that was the wrong thing to answer. You're supposed to say like, "No, I don't even know how to fold a paper plate."
Oh my god.
I was like, "I know how to do everything." Oh, I got the
You were
family.
scrubbing for Pesach.
The first day I show up, she's like, "Here's a knit comb. Please clean them for knits. Can you also do all my laundry?" And she gave me a pair of
Did you
tweezers.
knit check?
Oh, seriously, she gave me a pair of tweezers and she's like, "Okay, clean the chicken. We're gonna cook now, and also bathe the kids while like doing something else." I was like, I have to go.
I gotta go to class.
I suddenly realized I don't know how to do anything.
I got curfew right now, so I gotta get out of here. Okay.
Exactly. I had a real chesed family.
And then-
Kudos to you, people. Kudos to you.
I miss those Egged buses. You know, I remember one time I was, back in seminary. Truth is, people don't realize there's like a jargon for like going to the year in Israel. Like the jargon basically is like yeshiva for a guy and seminary for a girl. But they don't realize that like the seminary is unisex. It's like really both. Like it's seminary for a guy and seminary for a girl. But so now that's what I tell like my goyish coworkers.
You went to
You were in
seminary.
I don't say yeshiva because like, oh, you're in yeshiva. Shlomo's in yeshiva. He goes in the morning. I'm like, no, not that kind of yeshiva.
Different type.
So I say my Israel seminary year abroad.
Your sabbatical year.
My that's
You
a
only
whole
had 1
other-
year. How many years did you have?
How many years did I had like a half a year and then another half a year and then it's being documented. Don't worry, Netflix.
Got it. Thank you.
Let me ask you. So, for some of these ladies though, what should their response be when a guy says that he won't go out with them because of that certain specific seminary they went to?
It really depends on how old you are. If you ask me today, what seminary did you
What
go
seminary
to?
did you go to, Rosie?
That's like I'd be like, no, thank you. No,
That
I do
one?
not want to even
That
date
one?
you. Like if that's gonna
No.
make
Right.
make an
It's
impression
true.
on
It
you,
depends
like
where you're holding in
change
life.
your mind
Yeah.
about dating me,
Yeah.
goodbye.
Yeah.
But again, I get it. Like about 5 years after you come home, it makes it
Right. I think 5 years is a good mark. You know.
Yeah.
In
But I think
some
it's important
cases.
how they ask. Like, if they're asking because they say, "Oh, it's interesting that you went to this type of seminary because most of the time girls go there because they're looking for X, Y, and Z." I'm not that type of guy, so I'm curious.
Oh God! Every single yes.
That's a much better way to phrase it because that's a
Yes.
legitimate question. That's saying, "I am not like this seminary." So how does what does that how does that translate? And then they can say, "Oh well, I was forced to go there because my parents." And then you can say, "Great, let's keep dating." Or,
Yay.
it's also all about how you phrase the question and and what you're trying to glean from the question.
Right, exactly. You can learn a lot from people based off of their earlier choices in life and
Right.
later. So it's one of those
my
things.
favorite line. You just like hit it on the nail right there. My favorite line is when they go, "Yeah, I went to Bravenzer. I went to Bravenzer, but I'm not the Bravenzers type." Like, what does that mean?
It's
What
kind of
does
like
that
when you say
mean?
like, "Oh, they live in liquid," but they're not liquid type. I think everyone who lives.
It's like, what is?
Yeah.
I'm so confused, and I call people out. I'm like, okay, you just did a very Jewish thing. I just want you to realize. Oh, no. Sit down. You did a very Jewish thing. Okay.
Congratulations, being a Jew.
When you describe something, I want you to tell me what it is, rather than saying the total opposite and then saying it's not that.
That's true.
You know, like,
That's very true.
what is that? What are you talking about? Say I went to this school because I went to this high school. Oh, let's practice, right? You know, Avery.
That's a good idea.
Avra, we're turning into a girl now.
No.
Avra, I went to the school. I had a good experience, and now I'm a human being and dealing with life. Yay!
If only that were true. If only that were true.
Let me ask you though, do the madrichas actually get married? Because I feel like they don't.
It's a good question. I think when I was there,
Yeah, why
She
not?
never got married. That one, yeah.
they said that like, "Oh, this one just took over because that one just got married" or something like that.
That could be.
Why? How is that a
That's what
question?
By the way, I think that's what they would tell you. They would just
It's like
say,
it's a good luck charm.
right?
Be a madricha 'cause
Like
they'll
wink,
get
and it's
married.
not true. And
Is-
they're just like, not only did they get married, they're
Is that really a
millionaire,
thing?
And the truth is, they just like quit.
Like the skeletal
bad
remains
works
of like
rate.
the madrichas like in the corner, and they like.
I remember, like, as a bacher, I'm a big totally being totally being sarcastic right here. But I remember when I was a bacher, I went over to the fax machine and I saw, like, the madricha filled out the pink waiver and it was the reason why they quit, and they said toxic work environment.
Did they have to take it up with HR?
Right, they took it
Emma
up.
by it.
Yeah,
It's not working
HR. Rabbi Buchler, he was the HR director, he was the executive director.
Wait, go back to your question. Is that like a legitimate question where you think the madrichas don't get married?
So, there's a stereotype out there. There was a big stereotype. I remember when I was in yeshiva that the madrich men only married madrich women.
Madrichot.
Madrichot women. Madrich men, yeah. So that happened, and that happened. Both my madrich
So they get married.
If they didn't,
so it's
it was
not
like
a
an
married.
non-marital
They
thing.
married a madrichot.
And if
a
they
madrich-
didn't,
Well,
it was like
obviously
an
they're
intermarriage. It was
But
like
it makes so much sense. They're
It
like-minded
was,
people
was,
who want
yeah.
to stay in Eretz Israel and just have the
that are
Kedusha.
like-minded individuals.
And they will only
Yeah.
date in Israel. So who are you dating? You're
Well, I
just
said
dating
that
the person
earlier.
you're
That's how
I
we
know,
create
right?
that
Can you
funnel.
imagine?
You create
That bubble,
that
that's how you create that
brainwash.
bubble.
That's
Goes
where you
back
create
to-
the bubble. Goes back to that.
It's not a bad system. I just watched this like horror movie, and
It
it
is
was
a,
like about
it is a
one
form
of these
of cult.
places, a cult, yeah. But
Any
form of-
religion
no,
has
no.
cult-like.
I know
Behaviors
I
to
know.
it.
We're just teasing.
course, yeah.
I'm just
No, we
teasing
do.
it, but I
do.
think there's a. I think there's a.
What's
lot
the
of
one
truth
in
to it.
Guantanamo called I don't know, Neve something? Neve Yaakov? something
Guantanamo
like that?
Bay. There's
Yeah, there's
seminaries?
a not a seminary, no, a cult of Jewish.
Leif Tahar?
Leif Tahar,
Oh,
that's
Leif
the one.
Tahar,
Leif
yeah.
Tahar,
Leave
yeah.
Tahar.
They're
Right.
in Guatemala?
I got denied.
Today?
I got denied to Leif Tahar.
Makes sense.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Okay, I want to go in this order from Avery, Rosie, and then Hannah. What does it say about a girl who goes shun a bet? Go. It's like a lightning round, but now you don't have to be quick. Just give it your all.
Yeah, she couldn't get a date.
Yeah, like seriously.
Oh.
I don't
yeah,
know. Is that
I
what it
agree.
says?
Brainwashed, no date. I'll go off the cuff. You know,
It says she
uncomfortable with their life.
She sent her prospects out, and there was no
No bites?
Yeah, no bites.
It's like no. It's like she's coming from like the minor leagues.
Minor leagues is trying to get to
Right.
major leagues, but she's
and like no, go back
still
down.
in like AAA. She didn't get up to whatever it is. I forgot
Literally,
how the
like
water
you're in
goes.
double. Yeah,
Either
you're in
that,
double A and you can't get
that, or they're just like extremely enthusiastic about the
Their
place.
process, what
they're
they're
yeah,
doing.
about what they're doing. They're just the types that they're like cheerleaders, like pom pom types for like the seminary, and they market it and like to everybody, and
They're the
they
face of a
can't shut-
seminary.
Yeah, I hate those people. I want to like punch them, but oh god, you can't be too enthusiastic.
Avery,
about where
we
you are.
don't. Avery, as you know,
No
the
condone
co-CEO of the podcast, Avery,
Yeah.
like
Do you have
you
the
know, we
warning?
don't
Do you?
condone. We don't condone violence. Okay,
Not
Only
against
in
women.
here. Anyway.
Only against
Only
women.
against- yeah, but we can smack the guys. Okay, Rosie, tell me.
There's 3 reasons. Number
Three,
1,
Yeah.
you have problems at home and you just need another year to stay away from home.
That's a valid one.
Okay.
Number 2, you have older sisters at home and you can't go home to date, so you might as well just stay in Israel
Also
for
valid.
another
Solid.
year. Number 3 is you're not exactly sure what you want right now. You don't know where you're heading in life, so you're going to stay the second year, have some kind of college credits, and try to figure out what you want to do. At least you come home and you have a degree already in whatever it is, and you can take it from there.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's good, Hannah.
No, I have nothing to say after Rosie.
I know, it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was
It's
very
pretty
good. It
profound.
was very
I'm trying to think of
profound.
something, like, you know,
I think that it's like it could go either way. It could be a positive, it could be a negative. Are you trying to escape your life, or are you trying to expound your life and trying to figure out still who you are? So I feel like as long as you have an understanding of what you want to do with that second year, like what is Shana Bet going to do for you? Are you going to try to, I don't know, figure out your life a little bit more? As long as you have like a goal in mind, I think it's good. I think, okay, as long as you're sticking to something, as long as it's just not an escape from something else that you're just using to.
It's definitely an
Push-
escape, but it's an escape that's having some kind
because
of
if you-
positive outlook and shaping your life.
But let's say you're going to also go to college that year, so you're not escaping. Essentially, you're just
No,
trying.
you're still escaping, but you're doing something positive while you're escaping.
You're multitasking.
Okay.
You're escaping and also working on your life.
Okay.
that's a girl line right there. Like when you have so much going on and it's confused.
multitasking.
Multitasking.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
I think because guys get scared off by that term because
They
most
do.
guys don't know how to multitask. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it. I don't know how to
Or they
multitask.
stand there like, how do you do that?
Right.
Type and talk? It's
I do,
very
yeah.
easy. I'll show you.
You work with Hasidim, don't you? Don't you? Hasidim. No.
Not
We
even
don't-
one.
we don't
Not
condone-
even one.
No, I'm kidding. No, I love all Yidden. I told you, love and hate all Yidden like equally.
Equally.
Mamish
100%.
equally.
100%.
Except for the
Especially-
ones who tell us on
But
the
especially the
Instagram.
Bukharians.
Okay, that's a whole other story. Okay, so
It was a low end.
we're gonna get to lightning round closing. Before that, I do want to just tell you one thing. I think the culture does continue in these yeshivas, in these seminaries, these girls' schools, and I'll tell you, all that like the fan power, the quote unquote brainwashing, that just Pollyannish like enthusiasm. It just leaks over. Like there's overture into camp that the girls go to. And by the way, if they're going to Hask and High Lifeline, amazing. I love it. Not bashing you people. You're rock stars. But like if they're, they go to camps and then they're like, some of them go to YU, they go to Stern, and there it is. They're like, yay, like, keep it going. And then something I think Avery and I recently discovered was that it actually kind of gets funneled and leaked into corporate America, right? How about our PwC friends? They're like sipping on the Kool-Aid. Yeah,
What about-
corporate 401k. I'm telling you, we see these
It's a
people.
personality trait.
I'm not sure
Everybody-
what you're leading to. Just want us
People
to not
allow-
be happy and positive?
I think his point
Yeah,
is
stop it.
Please be depressed for the rest of your
Isaac-
life. Sincerely, the
Isaac,
boys from.
if I can sort of interpret your words,
You know,
what he means to say is some people end up using their experiences and they let the places they've been to or the places they're at define them, and then that takes over their
Just
entire
propels them.
personality. It's everything about them, right? You went to Camp Sternberg. Oh my God, I am Camp Sternberg. You ever meet those other people?
Right.
Like, I can't stand it.
yes.
I can't, like,
Wait,
what the hell?
Who? Rosie. Rosie was one of those. Yeah. You
What?
are- I am Camp Sternberg.
No, Rose.
For
Yeah.
shit. No, me and Coach Hannah have this thing about.
no way.
Ready? It's a run a new girl. It's true.
Okay, I
It's a
guess,
thing.
yeah.
It's a certain pep. It's a certain pep.
We met.
Pep in your step.
We met
Camp
that girl.
Kaylee.
We met that girl in that event in Fair Lawn.
Yeah.
She was from Skokie. She was Mrs. something. She gave herself the title. Like Miss. I mean Miss. She was Miss something. No,
Yeah.
no. She,
Spunk.
Miss. I don't know. Some like Jewish organization.
Congeniality. I don't know.
Oh, that's such a great movie. Okay. All right. So we're gonna head to the lightning round and then the closing right after.
Wait. What was
What
your point of this? So don't
don't
let
know.
your.
We'll cover it in the lightning round.
We'll cover it in. Yeah, we're gonna cover it in. We're gonna edit this out.
A great time to shout out your store, Michal.
Style and Trend, please shop it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today's episode has been sponsored by Style and Trend out in Lakewood, New Jersey.
Right.
They have some of the most top women's fashion trends, styles. Get your tops, get your bottoms, get your
IJ gets his
hats.
tops there.
What else? Shoes.
No,
They
No,
sell shoes
accessories,
too?
beanies. We got jewelry.
Okay, they sell
All the
they sell-
fashionable Instagram
all the
brands
fashionable.
that you see
Mention
on
nobody
the
talks to Dilkham and get a discount.
Yes,
Exactly, 10% off.
mention, okay,
We should
10.
do that
We're
for
giving
real.
10. NTS10 for 10% off. That's NTS10.
Hashtag.
Tell Michal, Avery, IJ, and Tommy sent you.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much, people, for listening to those ads. This way, Avery and I have more money in our pocket for these high inflated shit dating, dates. It's just insane.
Dating.
Dating dates, yeah. So, okay, we're going to go to this, the lightning round. And as y'all know, you don't have any moment to think here. I'll give you a few seconds, but you got to right away. Just let it out. No thinking, okay? So, I actually forgot really what the premise here was. Let's see here. Oh, okay, fine. So, we're going to use Seminary or Seminary? Seminary? Seminary or
Seminary.
Seminary.
Right. Nay.
Just say yay or
Seminary or Seminary. Yeah. So
Basically.
you can do that,
Okay.
Yeah,
thumb up,
yeah.
thumb down. Okay. All right. And Hannah, we're going to start with you. Your Rebbetzin seminary wants you to date his son.
That is very tricky. It's kind of like dating your boss's son. Same idea. I'm gonna say
It's interesting.
maybe. Is it maybe? Depending on the sermon.
Sembi. Okay.
I feel like it depends on the circumstances.
Okay, that's not an option. Seminary.
Just say yay, like you were singled out to like date his son. Yay. Yay.
Sure. I mean, I guess if you're going home anyways, you're not gonna stay there and they live in Israel. Just try it out.
Yeah.
Yay.
Right.
Okay, and Rosie, how about you?
Nay.
just
Really, just throw me under the bus.
but you have to say seminary. Nay. Okay, but we'll
Seminary.
And Avery, how about you? Okay, the Rebbe has going to date his
we all the
son.
same
the
question?
Rebbe's daughter.
I thought
Rebbe
you
wants
do.
to date his
I thought
The
you do
Rebbe
separate
wants
questions.
me to
What
get
happened?
I thought everyone has their own question.
No, we have 6 questions for everybody. Sometimes I'll leave someone out, Okay, fine. Next question. We're going to leave you. Okay, Avery, your Rebbe. No, Rosie, this is better for you. Your Rebbe in seminary wants to date you.
Cricket.
Yay.
Rabbi Harvey Weinstein is now.
Well, my father did tell me I can have every experience that I wanted, right?
Okay, Hannah, I'm not going to put you on the spot, even though we're being facetious. Avery, what do you say? Huh? He wants your Mora wants in seminary wants to date you.
Laura. She gives me a discount on tuition. It might be
He
worth
is it at this point. He is the rabbi of the seminar. So are you dating your?
Oh, right. Am I dating?
Yeah, that's not gonna be an issue at all.
Yeah, that might be some
Constituents?
sort of political issue there. Some sort of
There
nepotism,
would
but-
be. There would be. Okay, fine. We're going to move on here. All right. Hannah, we're going to start with you. Your seminary Moro wants you to put on tefillin.
Seminary. I'm just gonna say nay.
Nah.
That's not my
Everyone's going to
thing.
mean it. Rosie.
Oh, same question.
Yes.
Nay, I'm a from.
You know how it
from
works, Rosie. You've been on 10
girl.
episodes. No, okay. And Avery.
Who puts on tefillin these days anymore? Who puts on tefillin?
I know, right?
The woman at the
Corona.
wall.
Yeah.
Corona.
What's the
Okay,
point?
Avery, we're starting with you. The seminary will only have you if you become the lunch lady.
Oh,
Mm.
you ever hearing it?
Hmm?
Have you heard it?
I'm just gonna go instead of you 100%. That means you get the first
Yeah.
pick of the food. You put everything that you want on the
Right,
side. You have
right.
keys to the kitchen. Yay.
Yeah,
Yay, yay,
I
yay.
agree.
Okay, Seminary. I will not be the lunch lady, but I will.
Become friends
You'll
with me.
date
I
the
will.
lunch lady?
I will.
Okay.
I will
Date the lunch
date.
lady.
I will date the lunch lady, and they'll give me first.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
And
I would say yay. I feel like if I was the lunch lady, first of all, we would break out in song and dance like a high school musical routine.
High School Musical.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
situation.
eat first and then
Yeah.
conveniently. Oh, I need the bathroom.
Fun.
No, and then like
It's a buffet
it
today.
would, like no, it would start off with
Be
like
like,
a flipping of the
Troy
spoon
and Gabriella,
like
get your
an
cholent.
an extra beat, like you keep going, like flip the spoon,
I'm gonna
flip the
come with
spoon, and then
I love
Rosie
it.
would come
I
and
love
start banging on some sugar cans. I don't know.
Rananu,
cat.
it.
Rananu.
Yeah, that would be in the background.
Oh,
No,
it's
it's
so
a
cute.
lunchroom. They have
these
sugar
two are
cans.
friends. They're
That's great.
It's adorable. Okay. All right. So last question, y'all, before we hit our end. Okay. Let's see here. Avery, we're going to start with you and then go down again. The rabbinite you hated calls you up after a year and needs a place to stay after her car breaks down in Baltimore.
Oh, this happened. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't happen. But
Sort of.
I would actually tell them that I have a place in the nearest
You have a curfew.
tornado watch area in the United States or hurricane
You're in the
watch
eye of the
area.
storm.
I have a house. right there.
So quick on your feet. Rosie.
New phone. Who dis?
I love that. Wait, okay, fine. So I'm gonna. This is never the first time this ever happened as a lightning round commissioner. I'm gonna throw one back at you.
Okay.
Ooh,
All right.
double.
She goes, "Who dis? You know who this is?" And she goes on your WhatsApp and responds to your like recent
Status?
picture of you in your house, like la 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 la.
That's such a big house. I'm so
Yeah,
lonely.
you're so.
Send money, have child.
God, this is so much fun. Okay, and Hannah, what happened with you?
I would say I'm very into second chances. I'm very into
I love
righting
it, see?
wrongs. Very into like what
Says
I
the
saw.
married one, by the way.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you need to have second chances.
No, I'm very into like
Oh, did you realize
how
all
things
three
were
single people here were like,
initially.
never happening, and
you learn to
like,
have more
settle.
patience. I think as you grow up.
That's true.
Something to look forward to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you have all been so profound. We're gonna get to our closing right after. Well, just basically now. After these messages. No, here we are. We're back. And thank you very much, ladies and Avery. So fun having y'all here. Avery, some takeaways from episode 65. Why you're 65 seminaries.
Yeah.
Why specifically it has ruined your life.
I'll tell you about my seminary experience. There you go.
Cricket.
That was it. What a great experience. But
So happy to hear
I think we
now.
did come to a determination that I think seminary can do the right things for certain people if you go for the reasons that you are interested in going for. And it has no effect on your life or should not have an effect on your life in the long-term future or within your dating career. It should have no effect at all, in my opinion. So I think that's
Wow.
something I'm going to take away from this. That's really
Very much. Very
different
much.
than what I thought.
Any
beforehand.
of the two ladies just want to say a takeaway or closing or just like tell them where to find you on Instagram?
I think seminary is important. I think you learn a lot about
Excellent.
yourself. I think you become a person. I think you take on things that you should take on for the rest of your life. And if you were
Amen.
not affected,
Amen, brother.
like Avery says you weren't,
Avery.
then there's
Mhm.
something wrong with you, and
Yeah.
maybe you should not be dating people.
Right.
Or don't date seminaries.
Oh, and let me know where the great pillow fights are. I'm in.
All right, yes. Hit us up. Anyone who's applying to seminary right now or just needs a job on TikTok or Instagram, right? Whatever you're doing,
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram, or just we're gonna create the new
Neve
social
Hamani.
media.
Right.
Neve
There's no
Hamani.
curfew. Don't forget, there's no curfew.
Head
at
up, Avery.
your
No curfew.
seminary.
No curfew. Cash down front, up front.
Cash deposit in a brown bag.
Cash up front. In a brown bag.
Drop
yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
I know how to launder it. That'll be fine. Just gonna
Okay,
We're gonna
wow.
wonder.
So, quite rancorous. Excellent. I'm so happy that.
What's your takeaway about this?
You really do you want my takeaway?
Yeah,
on
you're
this?
Not
pretty quiet this
particularly.
at this
No.
episode.
Well, that's good. That's the host's job is to just be quiet and let the professionals talk. No, is that not how it works? No, I have no takeaway. I mean,
very
I'll tell you. We'll
traumatized
have
by
like
his
an IJ
seminary
tell-all.
experience,
Yeah. Who would come?
Woo.
Who would come?
I'll phone
A
in.
backstage, like a
Yeah,
Avery backstage.
like a Tony Robbins kind of thing. But anyway, ladies, thank you so much. Hannah, they can find you where? Tell the people.
Hanna Kahana Coaching on Instagram, or you can always send me an email at hannahkahanacoach@gmail.
Awesome. Rosie, Avery, Hannah, thank you so much. And I have a special song for you because you just brought it up. This is apropos. You'll see why. I'm in the Ron and joke. Yeah. Ron and
Oldie but a goodie.
This is an oldie. I miss Ellie Gerstner. Yeah. All right, happy face, smiley face, silly face. This is a Nobody Talk Shidduch podcast. Hey everybody, it's IJ from the Nobody Talk Shidduch podcast. I want to take a moment to tell you about our new affiliate program. Inflation's up, some economic problems. Here you go. Here's a few bucks off on your businesses or personal life or just for fun. I wanted you to take a look at shidduchpodcast.com under affiliates, where you can get 10% off for starting your first website, a few bucks for your graphics created with Canva, or just hire someone to do this with Fiverr. Check this out at shidduchpodcast.com and click the affiliates link.
Alchi's Media Network.